Hello, children. Good morning, children. We are meeting after a gap of 2 days because on Sunday there were no classes, and on Monday, as per routine, in your timetable, we have no classes on Monday. So today, on Tuesday, I'm ready with my class. Okay. So on the last turn, I've already started. The best Christmas present in the world in lesson in textbook. Sorry, as lesson number 1. So what I wanted to teach you actually, that is how to understand a lesson grammatically. That was my motive. We have been given a specified syllabus, and in that syllabus a grammar portion is also there. So under grammar section, I simply wanted to make you understand how to comprehend the paragraph, keeping all the genres of English, that is all the parts of speech in mind, even when you are going through the lesson. This is what I wanted to make you learn, to make you understand. And this series I've just started, and this is the second video in that series. So on the last turn, I dealt with the very first line of that text. I spotted in a junk shop, in breadboard, a roll top desk. Children, you can also take out your books and try to understand along with this video, so that you can understand your video in a very comfortable way. And try to, revise your video so that you can understand it. The second line goes like this. The man said it was early 19th century and oak. So here I discussed what is this man. The man, and in that series I also wanted to make you understand how to relate a particular noun or pronoun, the relationship with the previous line. Suppose the very first line was that I spotted it in a junk shop, in breadboard or roll top desk. It's okay. But in the second line, the man said it was early 19th century. So now here we ourselves understood that the man is for the junk dealer or the owner of the junk shop, and then oak. So we could understand that oak is related to the roll top desk. The roll top desk was made of oak. But this was the learning from these two lines actually. And then I discussed the man said it was early 19th century. The man, I told you, and the what is this? This is an article. This is also there inside the grammar, no? In parts of speech. So parts of speech is very important. You have to understand them. Like we have, noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb. So the same way, article is also somewhere in that parts of speech. And again, grammatically, you must know what is this. So we can say the is a determiner, is a definite determiner. So we have 3 determiners. Don't go in details, but at least in the beginning, let us try and understand that there are 2 kinds of determiners. One is definite and the other is indefinite. So when we talk about indefinite, we mention a, and an. And as far as the definite article is concerned, that stands for the, the. So here what do we have? We have an article, better to say, a, and in your local language you can understand it as that. You can easily apply that this is an article, the. It's a definite article. we have a, we have an. They are known as indefinite articles. So at least let us try to make ourselves introduced with these things. No? At least, let us have a first-hand knowledge of all these things. We can go in details later when we meet in our class. So there we can, discuss with each other. We can talk to each other clearly and at the very instant. So there we can understand these things in particular. But right now I'm talking in general. So there is an article, the man is, it's a noun because this stands for the junk shop dealer, whether you say junk dealer or the junk shop owner, so it's a noun actually. It's a subject better to say. Because in subject what do we have? We have noun, we have pronoun. And pronouns are those words who, that replace noun actually. If you remember the definition that you learned in the very beginning of your schooling, pronoun is the word that is used in place of noun. So pronouns are the words which are used for nouns. So nouns and pronouns, they are the subjects, okay. So what do we have here? We have the man, subject, man. Then we have set. S-A-I-T, set. What is this? This is a verb. So we have the subject, we have the verb, and afterwards we can say that these are predicates, under predicates. Like it was early 19th century. So it's an information which is given over here that this was the period of 19th century when this particular incident or this particular event happened. And then and oak. Then we have the adjoining sentence. Clause can say and oak. It's a clause. So by this way we get a complete line. The man said it was early 19th century and oak. Now let's consider line number 3. I had wanted one. Now here what do we have? That we have the pronoun, and after that we have a helping verb, that is had, and then we have the past participle wanted. If you remember, want, wanted and wanted. So now just guess it out whether wanted is used as the second form of verb or the third form of verb. Obviously in the very first line we have spotted, but then there we do not have this word, this helping verb had there. I had spotted. It was not like that. But here what do we have? I had wanted. If this would have been I wanted, then wanted was the second form of verb. But again in the third line, I had wanted shows that this is the word wanted or the verb wanted is in past participle or the third form of verb. This is not in second form. So what do we have? Want, wanted and wanted. So we may guess wrong also that whether it's second form of verb or the third form of verb. But then we have been given a clue. We have been given an additional information. We have been given a helping verb, that is had. And according to tenses, if you take up past perfect tense, there what do we use? We use with subject, we use had, and the third form or the past perfect form of verb. So this way we complete the sentences there in past perfect. So this is the example of the past perfect tense. So when I'm talking about past perfect tense, actually I'm talking about verbs. Now you may question, sir, you're talking about verb, but this is tenses, past perfect also. So when we say verb, what do we consider in tenses? There also we consider verbs. On the basis of the construction of verbs, we decide that this is past perfect or this is past indefinite. Like I spotted, this is past simple. And when I say I had wanted, then this is past perfect tense. These are the examples of tenses. So while going through the lesson, while going through the paragraph, especially from the textbook, keeping supplementary apart, which is a non-detailed material of study, but this is a detailed material of study. So here we should try to understand everything what is there available in the lines actually. So I spotted, that is the example of past simple. When I say I had wanted one, so this is the example of past perfect tense. Now, if I'm talking about this, when I'm repeating these things, I want you something to do. Now, what would you do? You would go through the entire lesson. I'm giving you the assignment, mind it. And there you can classify, you can make two categories. One that is for past indefinite and the other for past perfect. And then accordingly you have to find out the sentences and you can note it down over there. No need to write the complete sentence. You simply show me the subject and then the helping verb and then the main verb or the past perfect form of verb. In the case of past perfect, and in the case of past indefinite, there you can show me the subject and then the second form of verb. Okay, so by this way you will be able to identify them. You can understand that past indefinite is being used in this way and past perfect is being used in this way. In total, you are learning tenses. In total, you are learning verbs. And verbs are one of the parts of speech. So there, for that preparations, you have to study in this way also. So this is what I have given you for the day, and now you can do it through your textbook. Please maintain a copy for these things. Better you make a copy for grammar only, and there you can note it down, like lesson number 1 textbook, and then you can classify there past form of past simple and past indefinite and past perfect, and there you can note down these constructions. No need to write the entire sentence there, simply so that you can understand that this is the verb. When I ask, if somebody asks you, had wanted, tell me, what is this? You can reply that, so this is verb. What kind of a verb is this? There you can reply that this is past perfect form of verb. So through tenses, we are trying to learn forms of verbs. See, we have two kinds of verbs. We have finite form of verb and we have non-finite form of verb. So right now, when I when I'm talking about I spotted, when I'm talking about I had wanted. So in these two cases, I'm getting a finite forms of verbs. Finite forms of verbs are those 12 tenses. Present, past, and future. And then present indefinite tense, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous, likewise past, likewise future. So this way we have 12 tenses. They are finite forms of verb. And in case of non-finite forms of verb, there we have infinitives, we have gerund, and we have participles. So that I'll also discuss later. But right now, I have gone through only 2 through lines, but in between I've given you, something to do, so that you can understand. At least you can identify. It's like, going through an album, when you are turning pages, you can easily identify this. Yes, this is my grandmother. This is my grandmother. And look at this man, he is my grandfather. No, this is my uncle's father. So by this way you're able to identify them. Nah? The same way, if you want to learn English, you have to identify these things. Because these are very important activities. Unless you identify, you just crack them out, it is not possible to learn English. And what is our motive? That through text, let us try and understand certain important things which are related with the grammar. So just forget about grammar. So teach us grammar. What to teach? Right now I'm teaching you grammar. You just try and understand and try to note them somewhere. If you have some queries, you can ask me later. And you can note it down somewhere. And when we are meeting again in classroom, there we can discuss. Because most of the time we have some connection problems and all that. So that is happening at the same time. So I spotted that they spotted this is the form of verb. If I ask, suppose I give you an example. I spotted in a junk shop. Okay, this much I said. Now I'm asking you, tell me the form of verb. So first of all, you should say, yes, sir, this is finite form of verb. Then you have to reply that this is the second form of verb. Then you have to reply that this is past simple. This is also known as past indefinite. I hope you are trying to understand me. What I want to deliver, that is very important. Now let's continue with the third line. I wanted, but they were far too expensive. And at the same time, you should try to know more and more words in their meanings. Like we have the word expensive, we have the word spotted and century. So when we are going through meanings of these words, at the same time we are trying to understand the spellings. Spellings are very important. I've seen some of your assignments, in your copies, I've seen that while writing place in the beginning of the copy, there you have committed mistakes like session. You have spelling mistakes there, session. You have some other throughout. There you have some mistakes while writing. So this is why when we are trying to go through the lesson, let us try to understand and to sustain the spellings of these words, and at the same time their meanings also. So when we are dealing with the word, through cracking its meaning and spellings, what actually are we doing? We are doing vocabulary. We are trying to store more and more words in our mind. That means we are working on vocabulary. This is also very important. Unless you have, suppose if you have an account in bank If you do not have money inside, in that account, how could you take out money? If you do not have money inside, in that account. So before drawing money, you have to deposit money. So the same way, you have to learn more and more words in your mind and their meanings also, so that you can draw while writing. This is very important when you would do some writing work, like while writing a paragraph, while writing an article. There you need lots of words. So unless you store more and more words, how would you able to write them? So I hope you are trying to understand me. So at the same time, we are doing so many things. We are trying to learn so many things. On the one hand, we are trying to learn vocabularies, and on the other hand, we are trying to learn grammar. And these are important for you. So, like the word, we have expensive words. So with that, you can also do in your copy, like get some typical words, just note them down and do their meanings. All of you have got dictionaries, or you have the net facility, and there you can find out the meaning. And moreover, the words, meanings are written over there in the right hand corner of your book, facing you. So from there you can get some words and meanings. So I had wanted one, but they were far too expensive. So now let us try and understand the meaning of the third line, that the writer wanted to buy one roll top desk, but they were expensive. Okay, expensive means very costly. Costly to सुना you might have heard the word costly. So expensive means costly. So they were costly, very costly, and they were beyond his capacity. But he wanted one of them, actually, one of the rolled-up desks, when he reached to that junk shop dealer's shop. So with this, I would like to stop today's lesson, and I hope that I have done a lot. I've given you something for you so that you can do it in your copies also. Because unless you write, unless you face them through your fingers, you'll not be able to understand. With these words, thank you very much.